whole new ending. So today we're going to give you three separate opinions on the ending, and you can see where each of us are coming from, and then maybe give your view in the comments below and see where you're coming from for your views on the ending to Mass Effect 3. And to start it off, we'll have Matt give his opinion on the ending and see if he liked it or completely hated it.
So obviously before we get into this, we're talking about the ending. So full spoiler alert. We're talking about the ending. Don't be pissed at us if we ruin something for you.
Dun, dun, dun.
Before, the ending, before getting into the ending, I had a couple of problems with the actual mechanics of the game. One being you had to play multiplayer to get galactic readiness up. I actually was having some internet issues the morning after I got Mass Effect, and I couldn't get online, and it made me realize that, one, what about people with no internet? Two, for Xbox Live players, or for Xbox players, it forces them to pay to play Xbox Live to get the best possible ending out of the game. So I had an issue with that, and then the about 4 hours of game time span between your last chance to get all of your war assets and the very ending of the game. So those two things kind of mess with me, but the ending itself, I had a problem with its content, as a lot of people are talking about, with I think the poor writing in it and the very generic same ending for everybody. To be more detailed in that, all three endings, if you didn't know, there are three possible endings. There's the red ending, where you destroy all tech, basically. The blue ending, where you control the Reapers. And then a green ending, which is supposed to be the best ending that you get if you have high war assets and galactic readiness, which synthesizes the tech and organics into a new form of life. But whatever decision you made from these three was the same ending, essentially. The Reapers got dealt with, the Mass Effect relays get destroyed, your Shepard dies, and your crew lands on a planet that's very generic and nobody knows who the fuck it is. And you have no idea what the fuck happened with the rest of the galaxy. That's every single ending. All three in the same way. And this is a game that, not even just a game, it's a series that is literally based on, the game is sold on decision making, and your decisions having an outcome and having an effect. And here we are with a game that had three fake separate endings. It's really the same thing, but an illusion of choice, where no matter what you did, whether you saved the Rachni, whether you saved the counselors, who you romanced, every major decision in the game, none of it mattered to the ending. So you had a game where, most people played 100 hours total if you played all three games, at the very least, 96 hours of playing the game, where the player wrote the story, and then BioWare wrote the last 4 that made the other 96 hours not matter at all. So you have an ending that showed nothing of your impact of choices. It also showed nothing of the aftermath. We don't know what happened to the galaxy. If all the mass relays are destroyed, that means all of the systems, at least military, are stuck in the Sol system, the Earth system. So those guys aren't going back home, and there's not enough planets in our system colonized, so that's probably just going to create war there, but we have no way of knowing that. That's just assumptions. Some obvious plot contradictions. The child god, who was, the child in your dreams, I don't know how he manifests himself, or how Shepard even could dream that. We obviously saw, if you went and did the whole Geth thing where you get uploaded into the cyber world, they can read Shepard's mind, and Shepard interprets shit in different ways, and it shows up. But when you see this kid, you're not in any kind of machine. So the game has had Shepard see this vision, I guess psychically would be the only way to describe it. And there's the kid just out of nowhere, hey, here I am. And then Shepard, after fighting for humanity, after uniting these species that for generations have fought against each other, this glowing kid says, hey, the Geth, or the synthetics
Reapers
and organics can never live together. They're always going to kill each other, which, by the way, he just got the Geth and the Quarians to get along. You know, saying, hey, they're never going to get along, and Shepard says, okay, I'm going to kill myself. Like, he didn't fight for anything at all. He didn't argue against it like he has for the last 100 hours I've played him, or her, I guess, in some cases. He just said, okay, and trusted the leader of the Reapers. Trusted that little light kid. So that made no sense. But if the Reaper God was, in fact, on the Citadel, or the Citadel itself, why did the Reapers attack the Citadel in Mass Effect 1? That makes no sense. On a plot scale, it makes no sense. Why did the Reapers attack the Citadel if the Citadel is the leader of the Reapers? There's no reason for that. Also, at the end, we saw the Normandy run away, which would make sense if you chose the All Tech Dies ending. But what was the Normandy even running from? Because obviously the war was done at Earth. The explosion would either kill everybody that was there, all the military, wouldn't just single out the Normandy. But the Normandy's flying away and gets destroyed somehow. But again, we don't know why the Normandy was flying away. What was it flying away from?
I'm sorry, when I saw Joker, like, in the Normandy just...
Yeah, he's just like, oh god, I gotta take a poop. Oh, we're crashing. Like,
I just sat here and just busted out laughing.
So, yeah, like, there was no purpose for that other than to set up the crash landing at the generic planet that apparently, even though it's just in this one little system, we never found. We never found this beautifully lush, organic place. But they crash landed there. You know, that couldn't have been too far away from Earth. You know, made no sense. Yeah, I mean, it was just a very poor ending that really, after so much time of investing into choices, ripped all your choices from you. That had clear plot contradictions. It looked rushed. It looked forced. You know, it was like, well, we got to end it some way, and I get it that this was the greatest threat to all of life, so there needed to be some sort of darkness to the ending. That, you know, the idea that this was going to end perfectly was obviously too much to hope for, and I'm not arguing that there should have been an ending like that, but this just threw away the entire series worth of story, and, you know, I felt like that really did a disservice to fans and made for a terrible ending.
I'm going to get my opinion now. I felt the actual ending, up until that last 5 minutes of the Everybody Hates, I thought the final battle itself was pretty epic. It felt like this was it. No matter what you're doing, you keep going forward, but you know you're going to lose. And I thought that was a great way, and that's one of the ways I felt like it should have ended, or gave you the choice of ending it, especially after Anderson tells you how proud he is of you. That moment, if it ended right there and Shepard died and we lost, I would have accepted that ending even more so, just because I like those type of sad endings, and then we're going to lose and all that shit. Now, obviously there was no happy ending. There was no way there was going to be a happy ending with this game. No matter what choices you made in the entire series, you were going to either lose this war or some magical shit was going to happen, and I guess they went with the magical shit. The Reapers were basically impossible to beat. They mentioned that 100 times, and you were going to lose no matter how many races you pulled together. Even in that final war battle in space, you saw the Reapers just owning the shit out of us. So I think the thing that I felt is that a lot of people are focused so much on Shepard. I do feel that Shepard got closure in the sense that all the choices you made did matter, just not at the end. Every choice you made throughout all the games mattered in the third game. All scenes like Dane's death or Morden's death wouldn't have happened, and it wouldn't have been the same if you didn't save them or get to know them in the previous games. The reason that the Cure mission was just so good is because you actually know who Rex is and you know who Morden is. But say you let Morden die or Rex die, those missions are just not anywhere near the same feeling that you get. And when you save them, it makes that Cure mission that much better. It makes it that much more that it matters. The choices you made in the first game, to me, I think mattered for for that anyway. Not so much the final choice that you make. Also felt that that all the characters that you meet in each and every game that you fought for, or that you liked, it matters in this game because you get to see them all, and this is basically the last time you're going to probably see these characters, and you get to kind of get closure on their, and maybe they join you, or they die in number 2, but you still get, like, throughout the entire game, like, all this time, Shepard keeps mentioning Tali. Now, Tali died in my second game, but anytime something bad happened or a race got wiped out, he would mention Tali, or one time he even said this is for Tali while killing a bunch of Reapers. So stuff like that I thought was really cool, and it mattered because he wouldn't have said that if it didn't happen in 2, that she died. And I just think that all the choices that you made in 1 and 2 made those scenes that much more powerful, and not so much the actual ending. Now, the actual choice, that ending, those 3 endings that people just want to kill BioWare for, I'm not a huge fan of them. I like them enough to accept that this is the way BioWare wanted to end Shepard's story. And I feel like people are focused on what they want, but honestly, in my opinion, maybe not anybody else's, Shepard's story was always being told to me, and I just made choices of who I wanted with me, and certain little things that kind of changed some events, but in the end, the story's always been told. At the end of the first one, it ends the same way no matter what. You destroy the council or not, that's kind of meaningful, but the ending's still the same. At the end of 2, the Reapers are still coming no matter what. There was no way to stop them, so all those choices you made, no matter what, even if Shepard's the only one alive, the Reapers are still coming. So there's no way you could actually change that ending. There has to be an ending. And could it have been handled better? Oh my god, yes. Basically what I feel they did is they went, oh, okay, we played Deus Ex the day before we made this ending, and here's the fucking ending to Deus Ex in Mass Effect form. And that's really what they kind of give you. But no matter what, I felt Shepard was going to die. No matter what, the ending had to be a big sacrifice. And I think the thing that shocked me the most is not so much the endings, because the endings, everybody's going to have a different opinion, but this is BioWare's, I think 8th or 9th, well, maybe 10th game now, and they've always given the idea of, choices matter in the game, and they do. Games like KOTOR, Jade Empire, Mass Effect, all that, they do matter, but the endings always seem to be set in stone. So that's why I'm a little confused where the hate is coming from. Like certain events that happened in the end of KOTOR, no matter what, I mean that big twist at the end, no matter what, the ending is still the same. There's no way you could have changed that. And the same thing with Jade Empire, the same thing with Mass Effect 2, is that you have all these cool choices that kind of matter in the middle of the story, but not so much the ending. And to me, the same thing happened. Mass Effect 1 and 2, all those choices you made matter in the whole story up to 95%. Then what I feel BioWare did is they're like, okay, we're going to continue Mass Effect series, just not with Shepard. And that's basically, I felt how they ended it, is they're like, okay, here we go. Shepard's gone. He made the choice. Now, what I think would be smart for BioWare is if they do make another game, make that final choice matter, and the whole world has to be different based on that. I mean, either you pick that they fuse, that there's no more Reapers and all technology's wiped out, stuff like that. I mean, that could be ingenious for a whole new series to start, but again, I don't know if they're actually gonna. That would spend years, I'm guessing, to make a whole 3 different outcome from that choice. So, if they do that, I would forgive them for the ending, because I didn't hate the ending. I just thought it was okay. But the ending is going to be up in the air. Some will hate it. Others will be disappointed. Others will accept it. That's basically where I am. And the very 5% will love it. But in the end, the 100 hours that I played and invested into the adventure, I still feel that it's there. I didn't let that last 5 minutes really wipe out all those choices I made and see the effects of the characters. And it kind of sucks that I didn't get closure for some of them, but I felt like certain ones, especially that last hologram, you get to kind of get an idea of what's going to happen to them. Either they died in that war or they didn't. Would I have liked more of a Dragon Age 1 ending? Yes, that would have been nice. Kind of get a little thing of what happened to everybody. But I felt like this was kind of the end of Shepard's story and all those characters, so they kind of leave it up to your imagination. Is it a little cheap? Yeah. But it is BioWare's ending to their story that they've been creating, and I definitely felt they could have done it better. But I don't want to crucify them. I don't think it's the worst ending I've ever seen. 95% of movies and games suck, so I've seen the ending of plenty of worse. But it definitely could have been better for the story that they've built up. It could have had a better ending, and that's really how I felt. But I think it's okay. I'm not going to go insane and try to kill any of them.